speech is delivered on behalf of the regional minister, who is the father of the region. He should have been here, but he equally has an important meeting somewhere and asked me to represent him. Mr. Chairman, Regional Director of Health Services, Representative of National Director of Public Health Service, District Directors of Health Services, nominee and non-nominee, Gaphto executives and members, security agencies present, invited guests, the press, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great honor and privilege to be here for the annual general meeting of the Ghana Association of Public Health Technical Officers. I would like to thank the executive of the association for this special invitation. I bring you warm greetings from His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic of Ghana, and from the chiefs and people of the Upper West region. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to see such an important group of health professionals whose main task is to provide public health services to the nation, which include both preventive and curative services, gathered here to make reflections on your careers, professions, and your assignments you have tasked yourself to do. What delights me most is that you are professionals of different vocations of the health sector, but have been able to come together to integrate yourselves as formidable force in the prevention and control of diseases. Let us continue to do everything possible to keep the association as our rallying point. Indeed, your position as a disease control officers, nutrition officers, health information officers, mental health officers, etc., is very essential in preventing disease outbreak and reducing the impact of disease outbreak through constant disease surveillance at all levels of health service delivery system. Your diligent work has contributed to Ghana being declared as a trachoma-free and guinea-worm-free country. You are also contributing your efforts to the elimination and eradication of other diseases. On behalf of the President and on my own behalf, I wish to commend you for this achievement and to urge you never to rest on your oaths. President Addo-led government is a listening government, and I believe that through continuous dialogue from all stakeholders, the needed attention will be given to public health expenditure to ensure that the gains achieved in public health care are not only sustained, but also scaled. On this note, I wish you all well and a fruitful celebration in this year's AGC. Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Agc, who for other reasons is not here. When he called me to represent him, he told me he knew I would try my best not to embarrass him. So yesterday he called again and told me, see, when you go there, speak very short. Don't talk too much. Because if you talk too much, you may say things that I wouldn't have said. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to speak very briefly on your 11th AGM and when you happen to meet Dr. Osekufor, tell him exactly what I said. That I didn't speak for long, at least. I would say that I'm very honored to meet a special group like this and to be able to speak to you. For me, for about 30 years of service in the Ghana Health Service, the one group which name is silent, which people don't recognize, is the public health group. Why am I saying so? The public health group are not the kind of people you see ordinarily dressed nicely like you have dressed today. They are people who work in the villages. They work in the communities. They are the people who are more worried about the health of the rural people than most of us who live in the city. And I don't want to congratulate you yet, but I want to say it is you who has the spirit of Ghana Health Service and the current issue of bringing help to all the people, especially the poor and the vulnerable. Finally, I think that we still have a lot to do in terms of data management. And by that, we need to validate our data properly in order to achieve what we need to achieve. Because so far, what we are doing in Ghana is look at the data and say that this district achieved 80%, and this one achieved 30%. So 80% is jubilating. But what are you jubilating for? How about the 20%? You didn't offer them healthcare. Who will offer the 20% the healthcare? We want the time where we will look at the data and everywhere is 100%. And that 100% can only be achieved through those of you who are in this room. I will finally say that it is unlike the public health workers or technical officers don't have problems. There are some of you whose attitude to work is not the best. If we go to some of the villages, some workers are posted there, they abandon the post for weeks upon weeks, they don't come. And I suppose these are some of the issues that you are going to discuss in your technical sessions. And I'm sure the Director of Public Health, who is more technical than I am, will delve more into these issues. On that note, I don't know how many minutes I've done, but tell my director I have concluded. Thank you.
Great pleasure to be with you today as we celebrate the 11th Annual General Conference of Gaphto and the scientific session. I've been to Upper West Region quite a number of times. I've been to Jurapa here a number of times. Most often, I come in emergency situations when we have outbreaks and public health emergencies. There is the time that you find me. I'm happy today. I'm here with you in peacetime and quiet time. I thank Gaphto for making this possible. I'm very happy to be part of Gaphto. I'm happy to be father of Gaphto, and I will always spirit you. The Director General Ghana Health Service, Dr. Anthony Isiasare, had wanted to join you in this very important gathering. Something also pressing has taken him away from us today. Should he have time subsequently, he may join us before you close. Other than that, he requests that he send his blessings and greetings to all of you. He appreciates and acknowledges the good work that you are doing to ensure good health for the people of Ghana, and pledges his maximum support to make sure that you get all that you deserve as you move ahead. I wish to take the opportunity to comment and congratulate the Gaphto Organizing Committee for this beautiful AGM. I've been hearing about Jurapa Dubai By your support, I have been able to be here, and I will enjoy the good things that you have here in Jirapa. I'm happy that you've given me the opportunity to participate in this meeting with you and also to make these remarks. Mr. Chairman, I wish to mention and reiterate that a great number of achievements and success of the health sector here in Ghana are directly linked with the hard work, commitment, selfless performance, passion, professionalism of our devoted disease control officers. And we continue to mention a few, you count on and acknowledge your invaluable and indispensable performance and contribute to the following. The guinea worm eradication process in Ghana that led to moving guinea worm out of this country, and in 2015, by your hard work, Ghana was certified to be guinea worm free. The polio eradication initiative, which has brought Ghana this far to the polio endgame. And for 10 years, Ghana has not seen a case of confirmed white polio. And all of these are due to our. By your support and hard work, Ghana remains in elimination mode of leprosy. Ghana achieved elimination status of blinding trachoma 2 years clearly before our set targets in 2020. And this year, Ghana was certified having eliminated blinding trachoma. We will continue to count on you for your disease control activities, the numerous disease surveillance tasks, and the response to public health threats and emergencies. You will always, and I will forever count on you when you are challenged with public health emergencies. We do acknowledge and commend and appreciate your tireless efforts without hesitation, even in trying moments. We thank you and salute you. Chairman, sustainable funding for public health practice is a merit on its own rights and is interlinked with achieving sustainable development goals as well as towards achieving the universal health coverage without leaving anyone behind. Mr. Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I wish to provide assurance that we would follow up with the various requests that you've made here from Gaphto. Your views are well noted. The various concerns that you've raised are well noted. You package them, what we can do from outside, we do it. What we need to talk to our leadership at the Director General Office and also Office of the Minister, you will do it, package it well, and fight and help you champion your cause as a country. As a public health group, we need innovations that are open and transparent and convincing to attract the needed resources for public good. Finally, I am of the belief that this conference will come out and contribute to more innovative ways of sustainable funding mechanisms for public health practice and provide more toolkits for newer tools to address the old dilemma of inadequate funding for public health. I thank you first for the pledge that you support moving public health forward. I took note and I monitor it. Long live Gaphto, long live all of us. God bless all of us. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this all-important opening ceremony of the 11th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of the Ghana Association of the Public Health Technical Officers here in Jirapa at the Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, popularly known as Jirapa, Dubai. Mr. Chairman, all protocol observed, our association, that's Gaphto, is made up of technical officers, disease control, nutrition, health information, and field technicians. Health information, we have the records being part of this group. We have a common roots from College of Health and Wellbeing, formerly known as Rural Health Training School in Kintampo. The association started purely as a group of technical officers, disease control, and nutrition in the 1980s. The desire to form a formidable national association comprising of all technical officers trained in Kintampo gave birth to Public Health Technical Officers Group, known as PUTOG, and officially inaugurated in 2006. Due to the group dynamics and emerging issues, the name was changed to Ghana Association of Public Health Technical Officers, for short, Gaphto. That was in 2009. The association is essentially aimed at enhancing professional skills of our members to offer quality public health care, develop members to take up leadership for positions for public health in Ghana and globally, in addition to welfare of our members. Our over 3,700 membership can be found at all levels of health care delivery in the country. We play pivotal roles in all public health as well as overall healthcare delivery programs and activities in the country. Mr. Chairman, members continue to render invaluable contributions as far as public health activities are concerned. Notably among them are immunization, malaria control, tuberculosis control, HIV and AIDS programs, neglected tropical diseases programs, guinea worm eradication, health information management, growth monitoring of children, breastfeeding and promotion, management of malnutrition, and counseling on diet-related diseases, information and data management, health promotion, planning, implementation and evaluation of various health interventions in Ghana. Our membership's technical role in disease surveillance and vaccine management continues to make the country one of the best in sub-Saharan Africa in achieving disease prevention and control of objectives, especially the vaccine preventable diseases. Ghana's strides in the prevention and management of malnutrition cannot be told without mentioning this technical group. We are among the key implementers of the international health regulation, especially in the area of case detection and reporting for surveillance action. Members provide various leadership roles, especially at the district and sub-district levels. In addition, a respectable number of our members have been offering technical support in many countries across the globe in various public health programs for WHO, UNICEF, and CDC. Again, our members in health training institutions are contributing to capacity building for the critical staff to provide health services in this country. Mr. Chairman, invited guests, in spite of the key roles played by our members in healthcare delivery, especially in public health, our members have myriad of challenges such as the Ministry of Health and Ghana Health Service usually leaving us behind when critical issues are being considered by professional associations. A sizable number of members cannot be upgraded to the degree grade due to many impediments which are mostly not our fault. We are usually sidelined in the pursuit of further education as compared to other professionals in some regions. The promotion of our colleagues to technical grades are saddled with many issues. Mr. Chairman, we appreciate the various efforts of our employers to enhance our work, but we are of the view that they can do more for our members. We now have the opportunity to do the Bachelor of Public Health for technical officers and sandwich diploma for field technicians at the College of Health. We are therefore appealing to Ministry of Health and Ghana Health Service and to the larger extent, the government to seek our views and concerns. When there is a dialogue to address health issues and other challenges faced with healthcare delivery in the country, our young and energetic members are endowed with enviable talents and are full of potentials which must be tapped to build the modern society of the healthy people. Mr. Chairman, the theme for this year's AGC, Sustainable Sources of Financing for Public Health in Ghana, is to give us a forum, or to give our members the forum in the 10 regions to brainstorm on the potential sources of sustainable financing of public health in Ghana. The approaches to tap resources, the proper use of resources, accountability and sustainability. As it is enviably clear that there is a donor fatigue in most of our activities and programs, and most especially the national agenda of Ghana Beyond Aid. The reality has dawned on us to find alternative sources of funding which will be nationally generated and sustained. We have invited experts to make presentations and lead discussions, and we are going to exhaust the individual experiences in the next 3 days to achieve our AGC goal with respect to the team. The conference will also afford us the opportunity to discuss matters affecting the association and our stewardship for the past 1 year when new leaders were ushered into office. There are pressing internal issues with our objectives of seeking the professional progression of members, which translates into an ever formidable association with strong scientific principles towards our national development. I reiterate our resolved determination to move public health forward in the country and beyond, notwithstanding the institutional and economic challenges in the context of harmful traditional practices and traditional and customary practices. Our members can assure our employers of quality technical support to attain health-related sustainable development goals, that's SDGs, for Ghana. My colleague Gaphto members, I remind you again on how far we have struggled to come together as a professional association. It is incumbent on us not to relent in our efforts till we become one of the best professional associations in this country and beyond. I would further like to challenge members to do their work with lots of passion and professionalism. Let's put our best amidst the numerous challenges in the service, such as inadequate logistics and funds, just to mention a few. Let's think outside the box and be pace setters in the health delivery. I therefore implore your maximum cooperation to help develop new strategic focus for the benefit of our members and professional activities. Let us come out with practical solutions to our outstanding issues. 11 years is ample time for the group to amass experience, to identify their own challenges and to solve them. I take this opportunity to applaud the efforts of our colleagues in the Upper West region for accepting the challenge to host our conference. I therefore appeal to all delegates to cooperate with the organizers to enhance the quality of this conference. Mr. Chairman, all dignitaries, invited guests, and delegates, I once again welcome you to Gaphto 11th AGC. You are most welcome to talk to us, advise us, and share your experiences, and dine with us. Thank you all for your attention, and I say Ayiko to all members. Long live Gaphto, and God bless us all. Thank you.
A speech on behalf of National Leadership of Health Services Workers Union. Mr. Chairman, Rapana, Principal Chief Executive Officer, all directors present, invited guests, media, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by saying that I have the singular honor to be standing in for the General Secretary of the Health Services Workers Union, who has been called for another equally important assignment. The Health Services Workers Union is both honored and privileged by your kind invitation to grace this significant occasion and has asked me to extend the warm greetings of its entire membership and the leadership to you. We do cherish being part of this August gathering because the fraternity and solidarity offered us the opportunity to share common ideas and thoughts on the vision of all concerning the nurturing of the growth, the vibrancy of the health sector, and its quality healthcare delivery. More importantly, Mr. Chairman, another useful tool we can use in unity is unity. We should stop any attitude and practice that would disintegrate our front and unite together to become a strong, formidable group, because it is even said that when the webs of spider are united, it can catch elephants. Mr. Chairman, finally, with great solidarity with you on this occasion, we hope your conference will come out with effective strategies to meet the challenges that we are confronted with as a union and association in health sector. On this note, we wish you wonderful and satisfactory conference. Long live Gaphto, long live Health Services Workers Union, long live Workers Solidarity, long live the Republic of Ghana. Thank you. But I want to add something to this speech. My national chairman told me to inform members here that Health Services Workers Union supported this conference with 10,000 Ghana.
Good afternoon to you. My name is Michael Amwa Jansa. I'm the Vice President for Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, Upper West Branch. And I'm representing the regional president to deliver this message. Distinguished delegates, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to associate myself with all the protocols observed early on this Congress. I bring you warm fraternal greetings and best wishes from the National Executive Council, the Upper West Regional Executives, and indeed the entire membership of the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, that is GAMS, on the occasion of the celebration of the annual General Conference. We salute your leadership for the courage to organize these events, especially in Japan. We are indeed grateful that you recognize and express interest in us as manifest in your invitation that avail us the opportunity to be part of this great event. We wish to assure you of all our commitment to building bonds of solidarity between our association and yours. The theme of your Congress, sustainable source of financing for public health practices in Ghana, is of great interest to us as parliamentarians because we really work hand in hand. We are wholeheartedly associate ourselves with you. We wish you fruitful deliberation in your Congress and greater commitment to the mandate of all of us here in trying to achieve quality health service for all of us. Thank you very much. Long live Gaphto, long live GAMS, long live Ghana, and God bless all.
We bring you warm greetings from the Public Health Nurses Group, PubChem, Upper West Region. The Gaphto 11th AGC is indeed a very historic occasion. It is important milestone in the forward of Ghana's public health and most importantly in the Upper West region. We public health nurses in Upper West region stand here to offer our thanks to you. You were very supportive, very active in our just ended RM vaccination, mass vaccination, to ensure that every targeted age group was reached with the measles rubella vaccine as well as vitamin A supplementation. We applaud you for that. Upper West Region earnestly hopes that by the end of this meeting, the desired outcome to identify sustainable source of financing for public health nurses practice will be achieved. Public health practice. We look forward to working consistently with you. On behalf of all members of the Public Health Nurses Group, Upper West Region, we sincerely wish you a fruitful conference and hope that the 3 days meeting will indeed yield formidable results. Long live Papin, long live Ghana, and long live Gaphto. We have an envelope with an amount inside the
I am duly honored to be here to solidarize with this very important group in the health service. The Ghana Medical Association, as one of the strongest professional groups in the health sector, shares in the passion and commitment of Gaphto. Your theme for this event is one that has come in a good time because globally, in this era of sustainable development goals, the world is concerned about financing healthcare in a sustainable way. We all know the challenges that the health sector is confronted with. As already espoused in one of the presentations here, in the light of all these challenges, the bedrock of public health services we see is Gaphto. So, we are here to encourage you to take up the task of ensuring that you control diseases. We have accurate and reliable data to inform decision making, and that the health service of Ghana is able to sustain what we have gained comparatively with other neighboring countries. Once again, I share my encouragement with all of you, and I wish all of us fruitful deliberations and long live the group Gaphto. Thank you very much.
And I think I have come to the conviction that, and I always say this, that if and when all others forsake you, I know Dr. Sakode will always be there for us. Reverend Father, who is representing the parish of Jirapa, our other sister associations, fellow Gaphto members, all other invited guests, the press, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you greetings from the district directors group of Ghana and also the Upper West Chapter. We want to congratulate you for a successful 11th AGC that is underway today. As a group of district directors, we know Gaphto members remain one of the core members of our management bodies. And we rely on you not only for advice on public health, but sometimes to step in our shoes in management positions. On a day like this, we as the directors of Ghana can only wish you well and hope that the association grows from strength to greater strength.
Mr. Chairman, the theme for this year's conference, Sustainable Source of Financing for Public Health Practice in Ghana, is very apt and relevant to the time we find ourselves as we are struggling to mobilize resources to deliver health services in Ghana. We are in an era where funding for public health programs and clinical care in health facilities is dwindling day in and day out. Some years back, there was massive support from donor partners and other stakeholders in providing the needed financing for healthcare and public health activities. But as we all know, the situation has changed now, especially with Ghana attaining the status of middle income. Mr. Chairman, the National Health Insurance Scheme, which was introduced to take care of medical bills of Ghanaians, has also been going through difficulties over the past 3 years due to funding inadequacies. There is therefore a need for stakeholders to critically think through ways of ensuring that we find sustainable solutions to our funding challenges in order that our health indicators do not get worse in the years ahead. The association is of the conviction that the NHIS has to be better resourced with more funding sources to be able to manage the increasing cost of healthcare, and in this regard, there's a need for prompt releases to be made into the fund. We are reliably informed the Ministry of Health draws resources from the NHIA fund to provide vaccines and other public health activities. With dwindling resources for public health activities, we need to make prudent use of what we have. It is our hope that this conference will present a platform for us to critically deliberate on ways forward in bridging the funding gap for health delivery in Ghana. On this note, I wish to, on behalf of the National Executive Committee of ASAC and the entire membership of the Administrators Group, to wish you the very best on the occasion of this year's annual General Conference of your group. May the good Lord see you through all your deliberation within the next 3 days of your stay in the Upper West region. Long live ASAC, long live Gaphto, long live Ghana Health Service. Thank you for the opportunity. We are still mobilizing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Invite me to stand on the existing protocol in order not to waste time. In fact, this morning, a lot of issues have been discussed or have come up from the various speakers, which are very laudable to the team. And I hope we will work with them. The first I can see, I'm not going to summarize everything by one speaker each. I'll just pick some few points. The first issue that came up is about acknowledgement.
Things about you. These are sincere facts. We have been interacting, working with quite a number of you. You know your value, you know what you could do, you know what to do best. And the commitment that you have for the service and humanity. Auro Williams, my colleague, would like to start this presentation by first commending your group, and I stand by him, and leadership for the enormous contributions that you've made and continue to make to health service delivery in the country. I am in a leading, he says he's a leading witness to some of the good and fantastic work and commitment that many of you put to work when he was the Regional Director of Health Services. Indeed, Auro Williams started work, health facility, medical director, this Director of Health Services, Regional Director of Health Services, and he's now the Director, Policy Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation
the Ghana Health Service at the national level. I must also, anytime you hear act, I see how you want to be. I must also admit that some of you too have to up your game in a way you work and the attention and commitment that you put to work. My colleague, Dr. Mr. Dazi, reiterated the need of us to sharpen our skills, sharpen our knowledge package, sharpen our engram, and develop ourselves in our technical area. I agree with you perfectly. Over the past few decades, healthcare financing has been a major growing concern to many developing countries, including Ghana. Given that health financing is designed to cover both formal and informal sector, including low and high income earners. As much as possible, as we are talking about universal health coverage, without leaving anyone behind, whatever we plan, we have to make sure that issues on access, there's issues on equity. When you're talking about access, make sure each one has access to whatever you do plan. You have geographic access, and you should not sit in our comfort zone, and make sure those that we can easily reach and already living in the comfort areas within the country are those people that we want to send our services. We need to position ourselves, create enough advocacy, make sure the people of leadership at all levels, the district chief executives, the regional chief executives, regional ministers, the national level up to the highest number one of the country, we need to convince them adequately enough at all times that health sector, our performance is not a draining performance. It's not a draining sector. That always tap into the national basket. However, we contribute into it, and our contribution is to make sure the people of the country, the national workforce, are strengthy enough to contribute adequately in our socio-economic development. Let's talk about a scenario. Should there be an outbreak that about 50% of the people are affected? The money that you spend to combat this outbreak will not spare the health workers. You go to a hospital, there are two doctors. One is down, the other is not very well to work. The nurses, more than half of them will be affected. We are not seeing this because of the good work that we do here in areas that we do operate. And our success, our efficiency should not be our limitation. And as much as possible, as we are doing best to prevent and protect against these issues, it should not happen that because of that, we will not have what is due us to continue performing what we can do best. As there are many different forms of health financing available, identifying a sustainable one has indeed become a major issue of discussion for many countries. New and innovative ways are being developed by governments all over the world to ensure that basic health care is available to all at affordable prices and equitably distributed. Basic health care. Now, indeed, since 1978, 40 years ago, that we moved into and agreed at Amata, the primary health care. That has been the policy of the country, that we will go by that to ensure that all that is required for giving essential health to all citizenry, preventive, promoting, curative, rehabilitative. This has to be provided to all citizenry. 40 years now, we have come back to it, repackaged it, and we call it universal health coverage. The principles and concepts are the same. And that we have to provide this basic health care without leaving anyone behind. And as much as possible to do this, not leaving anyone behind, will mean that if you have coverage for any of the essential services, let's take EPI, which we just finished the presentation on, which has stagnated around 90%. It means that 1 in every 10 children will miss out. If this child happened to be your child, would you be happy? And we have to make sure that as we are talking about universal health care or coverage, and not leaving anyone behind will mean that our coverage is 100%. With the modern technology, where we have the capacity by geomap, using geographical information systems, we should be in position to register every pregnancy,
and if you are increasing tax, making sure the various amounts accrued from it are put and invested into our health, that will be good. We have a person, the NHI is not here, we will not be by it. 2.5% that we deduct for the national health insurance. How much goes to the NHI? That's no money. The NHI, when we
suggested, so I will begin with the suggestion. We are all aware that this time around public health activities are suffering so much as a result of lack of motorbikes. In my region, I'm talking about Upper West, in my district specifically, about 70% of the people who go to do activities use their personal motorbikes. So I want to say that it's not possible we begin a discussion around getting some companies that can give motorbikes on loan to this staff so that it becomes a partnership between Ghana Service and then the staff. You take the motorbike, they deduct you use it for the service benefit, and you equally benefit.
If at a point people are using more motorbikes for their services, taking note, flag it, the directorate has, under which we have the transport meetings. You push it through the DG and discuss with him that people there require that the need for motorbike rental policy. So high purchase, so that if they agree, I'm not making a promise, but I think it's a laudable idea. You send it as they have vehicle higher purchase agreement, which has come down, but the policy remains the same, so that people that will require other means of transport to deliver the services that you require. Donor fatigue. You mentioned right that it's issue of attitude. Attitudinal issues, don't see only at the top. But then at our level, what are you doing? Most of the challenges that we face when we send money out, the Office of Inspector General have reviewed the Global Fund, TB, malaria, HIV, Office of Its Control, Director of Public Health, Director General has never been mentioned. All the time, when we send the money to you, bring the returns, you put together, send it back. That is where the challenges are. Please, these things to remove a log from somebody's eyes, a speck on your eyes, let it go first. And as much as possible,
what we're experiencing is just in isolated places. We just completed the MR campaign and we had a national review. There was only one case that was mentioned in Water region, a certain set. And of course, it is known that set has been in the refusal board for a very long time. And when it came out, people were really surprised because action had been taken long ago.
Sustainable means that we are assured of availability of the fund, and that it will continue to come over time, and that we can maintain what is coming at a certain level over the time we are talking about. Not that today is 10 points, the next time is 1 point. No, we can keep it at a certain level. And that it can be defended. The source can be defended. Not that as you go along, you get to know that somebody has landed money into it and you are using landed money. Or somebody has actually misappropriated some funds and sent you some and you are using. So it can be defended. And then it meets sustainability principles. There are 3 sustainability principles. And that if you say the funding is, the financing is sustainable, then one, there should be a clear leadership who is leading the process of mobilizing the funds. And that there should be a plan that is legitimate that you can hold on to and share with others that has a cost to it. And that you have built an institutional culture so that when you say public health technical officers and food technical association, it is a culture within them that every year they have a plan and they are updating the plan. And that the source of financing meets the needs of the current people without compromising the ability of future generation to also meet their needs. If you meet your needs and the source of the funding is going beside that, the future generation cannot be able to use the same source, then you have compromised. So it is important that we understand that is sustainability. Now, what is financing? Financing is the act of obtaining the money. Financing is the act of obtaining the money. That means that if GOD is the source of the funding, that is our source of financing, not funding. If partners is another source where we get the money, partners will be another source of financing. If communities, philanthropists will be giving money, that is the source of financing. You can also have other sources like raising bank loans and also non-bank options, but these are not things that we consider in public health. Now, public health practice. When you have sources of financing and you are going to make sure that this money is going to be spent for public health practice, what are they? You see, public health services are services that are of public good. 2, services that are of little or no cost to the user. Services that have a cost, but somebody else is lifting that cost. Services that are of high proven cost effectiveness. In other words, they are evidence-based and they have been established to be cost effective. And services that take into account local circumstances and innovations. And they are services that have clearly defined measurable indicators. These are public health practices. So the question then is, how do we then fund these services? How do we fund? Finance is the source. Knowing what to do and funding them is the disbursement part of it.
Yes, one of our now say public health practitioners in Ghana here who is currently proposing that they should create a Ministry of Public Health. Because of the funding, Ministry of Public Health should create it in Ghana. Because of the funding issue that we are having, the money comes and goes into the community side. I want to see from the panel, what is your view? Is it possible? And if it's possible, what can we do to attain this?
Thank you very much.
Our own communities and districts, how we can actually mobilize funds. We have corporate bodies in our communities, the media. We can use them. For instance, if you have a radio station, you can use them for your health promotion activities. When you go and see them, you can dialogue with them. They can give you some 15 minutes airtime, at least once a week, which you could use to, do your health promotion activities without paying any money. And if you were paying, if you lobby them, it works, because we did it in our place and it works. Every week, they give us 15 minutes, and it's for free. So we would have to always even look for other staff to go and then use the 15 minutes. If not, it goes for free. But if we haven't lobbied, if you are going to
release of budget for program activities, and I mean national programs, I will use this just ended MR as a scenario. We were given 8 weeks to plan and more, but budget was released, especially by district, on Northern Region, 2 days or a day of the program. So it affected us to request for aid from other partners because we did not know how much was allocated for the district, not to even how much we would need from other partners to support. So I would urge authorities, if they could release budget early, much early before the implementation program. Thank you.
That's why he was saying that, I think he was suggesting that donors are withdrawing because we are not meeting our rights. That is a very good assumption. I think I made it clear that Gavi has a policy. There are so many countries that need support from Gavi. And as countries are becoming financially endowed, they use the GNI as the basis of graduating countries. There are certain countries that are very districts. And so for them to be able to support the most able to achieve the 1.5%, then you are moved into the assimilated phase.
So please, before you go to the hospital to look for money, do financing source mapping at the beginning of the year. Then begin to do the contacting. And as our sister said at the back, excellent submission. That there are FM stations. You are a district director, and you have never gone to see the director of the FM station. In fact, you have been a district director for 2 years. And as part of your district profile, you don't even know the proportion of households that are using FMs or radio stations. Proportion of households that are using radio. And if you don't know, how do you say that you are going to transmit information by radio? If 10% of the whole population are using radio, and you are sitting there all the time talking about it, only 10% of the population are listening to you. So let this be the work of public health. And that is where the sweetness lies. If we begin to put the eye on our own facilities and think that that is where we should get money to do public health, I'm quite not in agreement.
Follow and then do the job. You go to Ministry of Health, all the public health departments are there. So don't know the type of private health services that we want to perform or carry out with MAS and another ministry. But that is what I know. Maybe they will add up.
Right. We talk of taxation as a way of getting social funding for public health. I want to know if we agree that taxation should be a means, how are we going to hold government accountable to ensure that government really releases the money for the purpose that it is being taken for? Knowing very well that we have other programs, especially health insurance, that we are being asked for, but the money we are reliably informed is being diverted, and that's how come health insurance is actually struggling. Then the other thing has to do with all that we are talking about. I don't know, probably this goes to the organizers of the program. I don't know how we are going to harness all that we have talked about and get the kind of roadmap. Say that when we leave here, we are going to do A, B, C, D to ensure that these sources of financing, whatever we have talked about here, is actually implemented. Apart from that, it becomes a kind of talk shop and everything else no need.
Very much. And I have a question to Dr. Kifari. Thank you very much. I really like the discussions. But then you just mentioned about snake venom. And I think Ghana, we are very much interested in policies, written down ideas, than when it comes to the human beings involved. Why am I saying this? Snake venom and snakes are being found only in hospitals. But we know very well that in Accra, in Koforidua, in the big cities where we have these products, the snakes are not there. Where the farmers go and they are beaten by snakes, they come and an entire district without a hospital, there is not even one. So what happened? And when we talk, we say it is a policy. So the policy and the human being, which are we going for? The policy are made for who? And who made the policy? These are very serious issues. And when you go down there, to the lower level, the community members, the farmers who lost a heredity because of snake, and they start asking you have no answer. Go to the higher level meeting like this, and the response has been, it is a policy. Please, let's do something about these policies. And that leads to my question. You know, how we can finance public health, financing public health. I believe we need to do something about this policy, because policy and political government, I believe, to be a barrier to whatever decision we are discussing here. And the last one has to do with, if you look at teachers, farmers, they have National Best Farmer Award, National Best Teacher Award, but I've never heard of National Best Health Worker Award. Please, is there any plan to look at that? In his presentation, my very last concern, he mentioned that we have to integrate or co-finance, which is very, very loud. But I have the MC refused or denied me asking this question would have paid me a lot, because this has been my one. The just ended measles and SIS campaign. We were in a when list of districts came up for yellow fever campaign, barely 2 weeks after the MR. And I asked myself, what prevented us from integrating them? Districts that has to do yellow fever, you go out with yellow fever and MR vaccine. The same resources that they are using to reach and supervise could have used to do the work. The same vaccinated, of course, maybe if those who are doing double, their allowances could be top up. It would have saved us time. But because of that campaign, even some officers who should have been here, they are not here because they have to remain and prepare for the yellow fever campaign. And these are, critical issues that we have to look at. When it is national level,
some of the things they preach, but it's not being practiced.
The sources for financing our public health activities. What I want to look at it is that they are all mentioning all the other sources. But I'm also looking at the private facilities. In the sense that the private facilities, for example, health insurance that we are talking about, they even consume almost all our health insurance plan. But meanwhile, when it comes to public health aspect, they are not involved. So what are we doing about it? Thank you.
I mean, the way forward after this, we have to take in place a CA community. Usually, we meet after conference so that we can start working on the document. So I think it will address our concern. And somebody also talk about limitation of child facility. I mean, somebody from the church is which is very true. Traditionally, the people we actually ask to come for the panel, I mean, we made that all these, we had a mix of people. Ghana actually we are getting one person. It's unfortunate that the way it went, we didn't get all of them. But we're taking photo of that. Next time we'll do better engagement to get people that we can speak to the topic. We'll also look at the topic, but the one we're looking at is so we are taking from them. And somebody asked a question, right? My presentation, I suggested that if we can tax, let them tax cigarette and tobacco products and alcohol. So, and then use that money to support public health activities. As I'm employing only from countries like South Korea, when you do that, you make them very expensive. Make sure that people don't patronize it. Even though in their country, because they are able to afford, no matter the cost they buy, because of that, they generate a lot of money that is used to take care of them. If somebody develops cancer as a result of smoking, and there is no money to take care of the person, at the end of the day, come back to the national health institutes and a lot of burden on the health sector and alcohol in the same context. So, what my brother lamented the need for that focus on persons rather than policy. I would suggest that if we need to do that, we need to have a policy. Because the policy is always a guideline. And it's something that we all need to work with and apply, as nowadays do it. So if you don't want the policies to work, and there's even a policy that if the tobacco and the tobacco products and alcohol are taxed, the money from the tax is given to the house sector for public activities. And they believe there's no policy like that, it's difficult like they are saying. There is a policy, obviously our directors at the top there that make sure that this money gets down to us. So I'm sure we can't do away with the policies, even though your concern was genuine. And I also look at the health insurance. People say there's a component there that is not, but I don't want to speak for them because I don't work with them. I'm also thinking that if you get anything from them. But the truth is that if you look at Ghana insurance, if you compare to other insurances that across the world, it's about the lowest in terms of contribution. So this is a look payment. If you subscribe and you go to the facility, if it's open, you pay 50%. Insurance take care of 50%. And then it's inpatient, you take care of 30%, they take care of 70%. That is also a way of preventing people from abusing it. But here we have one client going to 3 facilities or more in 1 week because it's for free. And if you look at the subscription, compared to the dollar, just about $5 or less for a whole year. Where else were $50 per month? So I think there are challenges, and recently a